I started falling into this pattern of just doing trends, seeing what was, hot and just jumping on it. Yeah, I just wasn't happy. So I was like, I'm going to make myself happy, and I'm going to do stuff that, I didn't think I'd ever want to do. As a kid, I was very introverted. I was very quiet. I kept to myself. And I kind of still am, but I guess I'm a lot more out my show whenever I'm on camera. My parents were very strict, Nigerian, African parents. They were always like, education is key, and it is key, but my focus is always on other things. I think if they let me do my thing, I probably would have stayed in education, which is the funniest thing. Like, I would have wanted to learn and I would have wanted to study. But because my parents were so strict and forced me to do certain things, I've always been a person that does the opposite of what someone tells me to do. So I was about 11 when I started my first YouTube channel. I think I uploaded Family Guy, and that got copyright strike. So I do remember one of my first content was a game called June 2000 or June 3000. This old game that I was obsessed with. I loved it. And it actually did really well. And I mean, I say load, it was like 10, 20 people, but like, it was still like a lot of people to me. But I think I gave that channel to my bro and made another channel, which everyone knows now, KSI LGBT.
Do you think that anyone you knew back then could have known where you would end up?
I didn't think I'd end up where I am today. Like, let's be honest, I've done quite a lot in my lifetime that I didn't think I'd ever be able to do. I didn't think I'd ever have a song with Craig David. I didn't think I'd ever have a song with Rick Ross. I didn't think I'd ever be in a boxing match, a pro boxing fight. I'd have a group called The Sidemen where we're making YouTube videos weekly. Like, I didn't think a lot of things. And I know, 100% know, that all the people in school did not expect where I'm at today. And it's still crazy. Even to this day, I still get messages on my Facebook saying, like, it's crazy where you are right now. Like, I never thought that you'd be this type of person.
You've talked in previous interviews about how, like, 2017 was almost the year things turned.
Yeah.
What changed?
I started falling into this pattern of just doing what people wanted to see, just doing trends, seeing what was hot and just jumping on it. And I wasn't really making content I wanted to make. Personally, I don't like saying that I was depressed. I kind of just got to the point where I was like, oh man, I'm just not happy. I'm just not happy with like what I'm doing. I'm just not happy with where I'm at. I deleted a load of videos, deleted all my tweets, deleted all my Instagram pictures. I was like, I'm going to make myself happy, and I'm going to do stuff that I didn't think I'd ever want to do. So I went and traveled. I really found myself. I really I had fun. I didn't worry about numbers. I wasn't looking at stats. I wasn't obsessed with my phone. Being able to now come back in a better state of mind is just so important.
You have the boxing in 2017 as well.
Yeah.
So it starts with Joe Weller. When that first came about, did you ever imagine it was going to be as big as it was?
No, I never thought the Joe Weller fight was going to be as big as it was. I trained like my whole life depended on that fight. And yeah, it was literally every day I trained. Every single day I would go on runs. Every day I was doing, weights. Every day I was just doing something to improve my body. I sacrificed, making YouTube videos. I sacrificed doing a lot of things, and my whole focus was just on that fight. I kind of knew that I had won because it was the similar zen that I was in when I was fighting Logan Paul in the pro boxing fight, where I was there like, I've worked for this, I'm ready, you're not ready to fight me right now. the first Logan Paul fight, I was a bit too confident. I was a bit too overconfident. And I thought, I've got this. It's Logan Paul. He hasn't really boxed. I got a draw, but, I just didn't feel happy with that. So I made sure to rectify it in the second fight. After about a week, that's when it settled in. And that's when I woke up and went, holy shit, I did that. I looked back at the video. I looked at the whole footage of me walking into the ring, the thousands of people at the LA Staples Center. The fight, I looked at everything and I went, Jesus Christ, man. That was wild.
You obviously had beef with both Joe Weller and Logan Paul.
Yeah.
And Logan's brother
Mm-hmm.
in the kind of lead up to it. And what was your view of them then, really? And how do you view them all now?
Well, I've always hated Jake Paul. I think he's a twat. I think the videos he makes shows he's a twat. But I think with Logan, at least his videos were somewhat entertaining. And with Joe Weller, it's weird because we were friends, and then we kind of turned into enemies because of this fight. You can never really be true friends after something like that. I just don't think it can ever happen. Maybe if you fought and it was a draw, maybe you could still be friends, but the idea of being friends with someone that has beaten you, it's a hard thing for your head to compute. And I think that's why me and Joe will never ever be true friends again. And why me and Logan will never be friends, and why me and Jake will never be friends. Music has always just been a hobby of mine, but YouTube was also a hobby, and it kind of just turned into something that I made money from. And the same is just happening with music. The better I'm getting with music, the more money I'm starting to make. I'm kind of now at a point where I'm able to really find my sound, make good music, and I'm happy with the music that I'm producing. And now I can just put more stuff out, put more content out, and work with people that I never thought I'd be able to work with, and really come in with bangers, man. I remember when I went to my first concert. It was Watch the Throne, Kanye West and Jay-Z, and I was there with a few of my schoolmates. We were right at the back, so Kanye was just like a little speck, same with Jay-Z. I remember they were on these huge box platforms, and I was watching it and I was like, one day I'm gonna do this. One day I'm gonna perform in front of hundreds of thousands or thousands of people. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but one day I'm gonna do it. I'm proud of the fact that my parents were proud of me with the direction I've gone in. I just never really thought they would be 100% with what I'm doing, but they're 100% with me now, and they've been 100% with me for a long time. I don't even look at numbers anymore, man. Every now and then I go, oh yeah, look, I've got this many millions subscribers. For me, what's important is just making content that people just enjoy, and making music that people just enjoy, and punching people in the face and letting them enjoy that. So I don't want to just be seen as one thing. I like being seen as a range of things when it comes to music or the boxing or YouTube. I'm able to just be quite fluid with what I want to do. The idea of having a YouTube audience, and having a music audience, and having a boxing audience, and then being able to gel that together, having mainstream success and all this and all of that, I'm able to really just come home and just make whatever I want, do whatever I want, and build a lot of hype around it. And essentially, if I make a good product, it will fly. I'm not a person that was just born with all these skills. I've just worked hard, and it's crazy what hard work can get
I'm now 50 feet, 40 feet, 30 feet, 20 feet, all the time looking, checking, looking. And at 20 feet, I got onto the left-hand wing, clambering over that door lip. And then I stood onto the wing. I was able to stand on the wing momentarily.